Google surprised the tech world yesterday when it officially announced Chromecast, their new internet TV platform. Chromecast is being called Google's answer to Apple TV, streaming anything and everything in your Chrome browser to your TV. The $35 HDMI stick device is already available online and is expected to be in the stores by the end of the month. People are calling this the best device Google's ever come out with.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely one of the cheapest devices Google's ever come out with. And I think that's a big thing to keep in mind here. The streaming box market, you have a ton of different options. Not only do you have Apple TV and Roku, which really control about 80% of the market, but you also have a ton of third-party, from Western Digital and a bunch of other companies. What this does, though, is it really brings a big name, Google, of course, and a really small price tag. So it's not a huge investment for people to try this out, and I think that's one of the reasons that it's getting a lot of attention.
So, you're saying it's going to be cheap to try this out. That means perhaps more people will have this in their living rooms or where have you. But what does this actually mean in terms of how it'll affect our lives? I read that it's about Chrome tab projection, that you could literally throw anything up. I mean, how is this going to change how we consume content?
Well, it has the potential to change, but a lot of things need to fall into place for Google. Right now, only a few apps work with it, we should say natively. So that would be Netflix, YouTube, and then the Google Play Store. Pandora is coming out. What the Chromecast can do, though, is it can broadcast whatever is in your Chrome browser simply by hitting a button called Cast. There is one caveat here, and that would mean basically you could pull up HBO Go or whatever you want, whatever type of video
Hulu.
you want in your browser. Hulu, technically you could,
right,
or potentially you could.
Yeah.
The only issue there is that these companies have the potential to block that Cast button from being there, and that remains to be seen whether or not these companies will allow it. An interesting thing is Hulu works on both the Roku and also the Apple TV. But YouTube doesn't work on Roku, and YouTube, of course, works on this. So it has the potential to change things, but how much really remains to be seen.
When do you think we'll know if companies will block it? Because I read that Google confirmed to Wired that you could run Hulu, Radio or RDO, and HBO Go, as you mentioned right out of the gate. I mean, do you envisage that potentially happening? When will we know?
I think we'll know as soon as they announce that they've decided to block it. Only a few people have this so far. Google did start shipping it yesterday. It's really popular. It's not even available in the Chrome store or in the Google Play Store or on Amazon.com for 2 or 3 weeks now. As of yesterday, you could order it, but now it's already sold out. So that's definitely remains to be seen how the TV companies and the big media giants are going to work with Google on this. What it does, though, again, it gives that a really small entry point for Google. One other big thing that this does is that's really interesting, I think, is that it opens up Google's platform to people with iOS devices. So you can actually stream Netflix and stream YouTube from your iOS devices and from your Mac instead of just from PCs. And that's something that Apple TV doesn't allow. It doesn't allow you to use Android devices to stream content to Apple TV.